Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for listening to these recordings. Happy Halloween. I'm recording this on Halloween. I'm probably not going to upload it on Halloween, but I'm recording this on Halloween, so happy Halloween. I'm out for a walk right now, so if you hear any wind or cars driving by, that's the reason why. A lot of people would listen to this and be like, wow, like this guy doesn't give a shit about his recordings or the quality of these recordings, and that's just not the case. I was out for a walk and I'm like, I want to make a recording, and I'm not going to not make one or not grab this inspiration that I feel on my walk just because I'm out for a walk. I think these recordings are open and raw and authentic, and that's it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, people think that there's so many podcasts that now exist, and people think that everything needs to be perfect, and I need to get the best production and the best mic and the best quality and the best cameras and all of this. I need to get the best angles. It's just like, I don't think that needs to be the case. This podcast was always made with the intention of, like, I'm talking to someone on the other side. It's not like I'm doing this for any other reason. I'm doing these because it feels genuine. That's it. And that was always the case. And whoever's listening to this, picture me talking to you on the phone. That was always how I visualized these podcasts being. I'm talking to somebody on the other side of this, and all my messages are coming from the heart. And when I make visuals, pretend it's like a FaceTime. And when I'm out for a walk like this, I'm out for a walk and I'm like on the phone with a friend. That's how I always visualize these podcasts being. And it's like, yes, I think the production, of course, is going to get better over time, and I care about this, so I'm going to invest in it and put my all into these recordings. But I'm out for a walk right now, and I'm not going to not do what I'm doing and let this inspiration fade because I'm out for a walk. Like, this is real, this is raw, this is authentic. This is how I always want these podcasts to be. And I'm not gonna ever go against that. I'm never gonna strip back the authenticity. If you're listening to these and you enjoy my content and you enjoy or you resonate with the way that I look at things and my perspective on things, then you probably don't care about the production. Like, obviously I'm sure you'd appreciate it, but I know firsthand for me, like, when I really resonate with a certain creator, or when I really resonate with someone who makes content and it's real and it's authentic, that's what I resonate with the most. I don't care about whether or not they have the best setup, or whether they have the best microphone or the best cameras or the best production or the best editing. I care that it's real and it's authentic, and you can tell that whoever's speaking, they're speaking from the heart, and that's what I always want these recordings to be. So like I said, I'm out for my walk right now. If you hear cars, if you hear birds chirping, or me stepping on leaves, it's all part of hopefully what you can get out of this. I don't know. But anyways, the reason why I'm making this recording is because I think it's important to remind yourself of why you do the things that you do. And I just released hats for our community as a way to represent everything that we're about at Presence of Being, promoting presence, looking inward rather than looking externally for fulfillment, joy, happiness. And when you connect with presence, you start feeling more whole already. And I wanted a way, like I said, to represent that for the community. And if you support me and support my content, representing that, wearing that with like a hat, that's what ultimately the vision was. So I'm very grateful for everyone who did choose to support and get a hat. The hats are still available online at presenceofbeing.co if you want to grab one. Your support means the world to me, so I just want to say thank you again to everyone who did decide to cop one. Your orders are on the way. But as I was releasing these hats and getting ready to release these hats, and just thinking about Presence of Being as a whole and my mission, I was like, wow, like, it's so easy to get caught up, like, scrolling social media and, like, just living your life. And just the day and age that we live in today, they kind of, like, lose touch of your center, get distracted by things, and just reminding yourself of like why you do the things that you do like regularly, I think has helped me just recenter myself and just focus on what's important. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, like why I do the things that I do and what ultimately led me to wanting to build what I'm currently building with this podcast and just the content in general. So a few years ago, I was in university and I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my life after school. And I had switched programs when I was in school. I was very lost. I didn't have any real like chief aim or definite goal that I was working towards or mission. I didn't know what to do with my life, honestly. And that always bothered me in like the back of my mind. And I would distract myself like going out and whatever and just like being stupid, being in school and doing what, you know, you do when you're 18, 19, 20 years old. And at the end of the day, like it would always bother me that I like didn't know what I was doing with my life. And I didn't know why I was in school because I never excelled academically. And I didn't know honestly what I was going to do after leaving school. But in the middle of my 4 years at university, I fell in love with self-development. I started really investing my time and energy in bettering myself, whether that be going to the gym or meditating, just kind of, I guess, prioritizing myself rather than just doing what I thought I should do, like going out, for example. And that really changed my life. Like investing a lot of time and energy into me, spending more time by myself and like getting clear about what it is I wanted changed my life. Of course it's going to change your life. When you go from being lost and not having any idea what you're going to do to, you know, developing an interest in something like self-development and like really wanting to invest your time and energy into bettering yourself, of course you're going to feel better and you're going to be more positive. But for the longest time, I never felt that. And after graduating and having this interest in self-development, I knew I wanted to build something and I wanted to create something. And one of the most foundational things that I implemented into my daily life, well, actually wasn't really daily to start. I actually didn't take it seriously to start. And then I slowly started making it more of a habit, which was meditating. And I started meditating more consistently and really getting into self-development. And naturally, as you just start improving yourself, you want more and more and more. And I really got addicted with that feeling of experiencing more and wanted to push myself for more. It always felt like I needed to reach a specific goal or get somewhere or achieve something to feel good. And that bothered me. Like, why do I have to keep on pushing myself to feel the way that I want to feel? Why can't I just be good with myself right now? And I think one thing that really helped me was just continuously spending time in presence and being in the moment, realizing that you're whole now. And there's no place that you really need to get to start feeling more whole. And I really internalized this relatively recently, within the last like 6 to 8 months, I'd say. The more time I spend in presence, really quieting my mind, because that's like your mind, your ego, like it's just gonna always constantly seek more and more and more and more and more. When you slow that down and you just connect with the moment, you start feeling good as you are, and you start showing up in the world good with yourself. You no longer compare yourself to what other people have. And of course you still have goals. Of course I still wanted to improve and get better in different areas of my life, areas that were important to me. But it's not like I needed to get there to feel the way that I wanted to feel. It's not like if I didn't reach those goals, then I would be upset with myself. I show up good with myself and just being myself, connecting with the fact that I'm whole as I am. And then you develop this new level of confidence that ultimately helps you get to the places that you want to get to even quicker and more effectively, I believe. So to sum this short story up, Obviously there's more detail, and I'll probably get into more detail eventually, but I spent more time meditating and connecting with presence, and as a natural byproduct of that, I started feeling more good with myself, more whole. And I was able to operate in my day-to-day life with more peace internally. I wasn't in my mind all the time thinking about how I needed to get X, Y, and Z, and how I needed to reach this goal and how I needed to get there in this amount of time. Of course that still happens. Like, everyone's human. You know, you have goals, you want to get to those goals. If you don't get to those goals, you may be upset. Like, that's natural. But you don't feel like empty. Like, you don't feel like you're a failure. You just realize that it's a lesson, and then you continue to move forward. And that's something that I really started to develop an understanding of as I spend more time in the present moment. And that is why I talk about this all the time. And that is why I do the things that I do. That's why I promote presence and everything that I'm building with presence of being, because hopefully it serves as a reminder, my content, the things that I talk about, to just be okay with who you are. Obviously seek growth, aim to get better, aim to improve, aim to evolve, but know that you're whole and full and complete as you are, and you can feel fulfillment in this moment. If you want to get to your goals, that's great. Like, I'm so for that. Like, that's what self-development is all about. Evolving, getting better, setting a goal, having an intention, and then walking confidently in the direction of that, taking consistent action, improving yourself, and getting to the places that you want to get to. It's an incredible feeling. But thinking that you got to get there to feel the way that you want to feel is very limiting. And you come from a place of lack when you do that. You're saying that you're not good enough as you are, and that's just not the case. You are good. You are whole. It's just about internalizing that and looking within rather than looking externally for that peace, for that fulfillment, for that satisfaction. And I realized this, like I said, like I deeply internalized this like 6 to 8 months ago. And everything that I see presence of being is just promoting that and promoting it through being in the moment, right? Looking within rather than looking externally for fulfillment, and doing it through presence, because that's how I did it. Spending more time in meditation, spending more time with yourself. A lot of people don't like spending time by themselves. Like, they get like weirded out by like thinking that you should be spending more time with yourself. Like, people get, they don't like spending time alone. It's a superpower. When you build that foundation with yourself by spending time alone, by spending time in presence, like, you're building a relationship with yourself. Think about that for a sec. Like, if you were to get into a relationship with someone, the best way to get to know them would be to spend quality time with that person. So if you want to develop a better relationship with yourself, spend quality time with yourself. Go for walks. Have those important inner conversations. Talk to yourself. Like, people think it's weird, but it's like, no, like, if you want to get to know yourself, you got to spend quality time with you. Spend time in presence. Be in the moment. Like, make the present moment a friend. It's the only thing that we have. The only moment that we experience is the now, is the present moment. When you learn to spend time consciously in the present moment rather than like trying to be in the now but thinking about a million different things, or wishing you were somewhere else, or thinking about what you have to do tomorrow, or what went wrong yesterday, when you just take a deep breath and really make friends with the present moment. Be here now. If you do it for like a couple times a week, or you try to do it like as frequently as you can, like, you're gonna start feeling good with yourself. You're gonna start feeling whole as you are, which will give you confidence to take action, because you're good with yourself. You know you're not gonna judge yourself. You're gonna be easier on yourself, which is especially important if you are an ambitious person, if you have goals, if you care about self-development, if you care about growth, because it's very easy to be hard on yourself as you are pursuing something. So Practice presence. Be in the moment. Spend time consciously in the now. The reason why I talk about this so much is because it's really made a positive impact on my life. And I think more people need to talk about this. I think more people need to be aware of the fact that they're good as they are. Go after your goals, make moves, take action, have a standard that you set. Do everything that you gotta do to make your dreams a reality, but don't do it coming from a place of lack. Do it from a place of wholeness, being good with yourself, trusting, having faith in the process. So it's changed my life. The more time I spend in presence, the more whole I feel. Period, full stop. And it's a great feeling, and I think people need to talk about this more. And that's why I'm talking about it, and that's why I'm going to continue to talk about it. And everything that I do, oh my gosh, there's so many colors. Everything that I do with presence of being, all the content that I create, it's all backed by that mission to promote looking inward for fulfillment rather than looking externally for fulfillment, and doing it through presence, being in the moment. That's where the name came from, presence of being. When you operate from a present state of being, you start feeling more whole. Presence of being. Presence of being. You attract more of who you are. When you can be present and you realize your innate wholeness and fullness in this moment, good things are going to happen in your life. Presence of being. Be here. So, I hope you got some value from this. This is why I do what I do. This is why I wake up and make content. I'm an introvert. I don't like to put myself out there. It bothered me raising my hand in class. Like, I don't think that my participation in school was ever very good. I'm an introvert. I don't like putting myself out there that much. I'm quiet. But the reason why I put myself out there, and it's like uncomfortable a bit, like I've gotten better at it, I think, just by doing it consistently. But the reason why I put myself out there is because I genuinely believe in this, and I think this can make a positive impact on a lot of people. That's that. It's uncomfortable, but that's where growth happens. Like, I'm doing this because I believe in it. I think this can help a lot of people. So if you're listening to these recordings, if you listened this long, I appreciate you. Let me know what you thought about these recordings. If you actually listen to these recordings, like you listen to these recordings, and when I release them, like, you know, you like and comment and subscribe and all that stuff, like, I genuinely appreciate you. Let me know what you thought about these. Like I said, I want this to be like I'm talking on the phone with a friend. That's how I always saw these being. So if you're part of Presence of Being, if you're part of our community, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next recording. Thank you for listening.